I have one of these retro re-releases. On the 22nd of November, I'll get one of these retro re-releases. But I have two of these original 8-bit computers from the 80s. And you probably know I like cassettes. And this case has been collecting dust on top of my wardrobe for many years. And today we're going to have a look and see what's inside it. Welcome to another CBits Tech video. Look at that. Thought I'd have a look and see what software I've got on BBC for the Model B, the Beeb. Look at that box art. I don't think this was a very good game, it was probably cheap. But what we used to have back in the old days was buildings that you could go into and buy stuff, a bit like Amazon, but inside a building. And you go in and you can actually pick them up and see what they look like. And then you'd take them up to like a desk called a counter, and you give people some paper stuff. You know, like when you use your Apple Pay or your Google Pay. Well, we used to have paper stuff called money and banknotes, and we used to give them banknotes and coins, metal things that had a store of currency. And that's how we used to buy stuff. And the funny thing is, once you bought it, you never had to pay a subscription for it. You could keep playing it forever without having to keep paying a subscription or worrying about the server being taken offline or anything like that. The actual software is stored on the cassette, and so long as the cassette can still be played, you can put the software, you can load the software, not download, just load the software into your computer, and it will work exactly the same as it was. No updates, no security updates. It will work exactly the same 40 or 50 years later. What a concept, eh? Arnie, there you go, £9.95. Oh, how about that? Double cassette, Ballistix in one tape, Predator on the other tape. Oh no, both on the same tape. Look at that, the label stuck on there by someone in Acornsoft. So it's Predator on one side, Ballistix on the other side. Don't know whether these will actually load. But of course nowadays you can get all of this software online probably. And I've got a Turbo MMC card in one of my Beebs, and the other one I think is my original one that's set up for a disk drive, a 5 1/4 inch floppy disk drive, but the disk drive is running really slow, and I don't even remember how to connect it properly. It's Pipe Mania. I remember playing this a lot actually, but these, I think most of these are cassettes. Is that a cassette? Yeah, there it is. All in pretty good nick. All the instruction manuals. Excellent. Ninja. Unable to copy. Well, there's a challenge. So I did notice this when I opened it up. Games 1 backup, do not use. Oh, look at that. This is the way we used to. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. Cassette normal backup and do not use. The reason I didn't want to use it is because we played them in crappy cassette players. Let me get one. Something like that, and we never cleaned the heads or the pinch rollers or anything, and there was a danger of actually destroying your cassettes. So what you do is you'd back up your software. Revs, brilliant game. Night Law, that was pretty good. Labyrinth, oh, I can't remember that much. Boffin 1, Wizardor I think was alright. Don't understand what that is, but yeah, so look at that. So this was a Letra set? No, what was it called? It was stencils, and they come on a sheet, and you'd put this sheet of transfers, that's it, dry transfers, and then you'd rub over with a pencil and it would transfer the letters onto whatever you were putting on. Look at that. God, nostalgia, eh? So what you'd do is you'd back up, just in case your cassette died, you'd make a backup copy. And this one, for some reason, I was unable to copy it. Oh, look at that. So that's a floppy disk. How about that? So I was unable to copy it, so it probably had some sort of copy protection on it. So I've got to get that disk drive working one day, but obviously I don't have a lot of time. So I was unable to copy it. So in order to copy it, I think I only had one. Yeah, I only had one disk drive. So you'd have to load the contents of the disk into memory and then copy it to your backup disk, just in case that disk, because it's magnetic media and it won't last forever. Just in case that disk died, you'd want a copy of it. So at least you had a good copy, and if one of them died, then you'd be able to copy the copy onto something else, so you'd always have a backup. I think this was a rubbish game. That's a disc as well. Obviously it's a franchise, and really franchise stuff was relying on the name of the franchise rather than it being a good game. So we've got some discs in there as well. So yeah, so that's a cassette insert, but the disc is in it. And it doesn't fit in the box properly. 3D Pool, that was quite a good game actually. BBC cassette. Screenshots on the back. So screenshots may vary, so a lot of them didn't have screenshots, they had artwork. And then the look of the actual game was terrible compared to the artwork. That cassette looks as if it's aged a bit, doesn't it? So yeah, it'd be fun to try and put some of these on the Beeb again using the cassette. Again, I don't think that was a very good game. Oh, it doesn't look too bad, does it? So disc. Yeah, the problem is I haven't got a working disc drive. I think I bought a second disc drive, but it was only a 40-track one. My original disc drive was 80 tracks, so it won't read the 40-track discs. But I'm very rusty. I'm not an expert on 8-bit computers. I can program the Beeb, I still remember most of the commands. So that one was copied successfully, so I've got a backup of this disc. So if this disc doesn't work 40 odd years later, so what is it? Yeah, it's 40 years later, so mid-80s or mid-2020s now. See, that one was easier to copy because that was a basic game. So chain would be the equivalent of load and run this game and loader, but it only worked on BBC Basic. Basic's a programming language called Beginner's All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code, and it was pretty much what you learned in school back in the day on how to code, how to program. Yep, another disc. Is that the same as the one I had? Yeah, why have I got two copies of that? I don't know. Okay. Two other games accompanying this package. So we've got Return of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi. I have no idea. That's three copies of the same game. What is going on there? This one's on cassette though. Okay, that doesn't want to open. What's this addendum sheet? If you have a BBC Master, before loading you may have to type page or some sort of memory setting, I think. Obviously they figured out it didn't work after they released it and stuck the piece of paper in there. So we've got Star Wars, okay. Two other games. So there's Star Wars, there's Return of the Jedi, and The Empire Strikes Back. There you go, full set. And these tapes look really cheap. Where's my Bic? Look at that. You can't get much more brown than that, can you? Doesn't look too bad though. Right, I can see in there. The problem is I haven't got enough space in my office to get my Beeb out because the BBC computer is quite big. It's bigger than this case in terms of the amount of space. It's probably about the same size as this case in terms of the amount of desk space it takes up. But I don't actually have that much space, and the rest of the house is quite full as well, with two kids and a lot of family stuff. I have to see what I can do. Okay, Word style. This is a word processing package, obviously. Probably, yeah, on tape. Pretty much been superseded now. That was 1989. There you go. Oh, Trivial Pursuit. This is a massive game, massive franchise back in the day. I was pretty rubbish at it, though, to be honest. Not really good at trivia. I'm good at the important stuff. Wow, Electron graphics. So Electron was a cheaper version of the BBC Model B. Cost reduced, less memory basically. Oh yeah, I remember this. So it was like a computer-aided design package, really basic, even for the time, I think. Now, what's this? Oh no, the foam's breaking down. God, literally the bits of my past are rotting. Okay, it's going to take some. It's going to take some scraping to get that off. That's probably leaching all sorts of chemicals out as that degrades and tries to return back to its original oil. So maybe these aren't going back in this case. Right. So what we got? We've got Games Tape A. Different. Okay, so let's have a look. Now I'm sure this wasn't a pirated copy. I'm sure all of these are backups of the original software, which I still have somewhere. So Centipede, Meteors, good game. That's actually pretty good on the BBC. What else we got there? Darts was quite fun actually. I used to play a lot of darts in, like actually throwing darts back in the day. Back when when I was a teenager. Beeb Totes, I think that was a gambling racing game. Galaxians, oh I wouldn't mind playing that. Killer Gorilla was quite good on BBC as well. And Snapper, that was Snapper I think was the Pac-Man clone. Look at that. Galaxians, again that's what I want to play. So okay, what tape is this? This is another, look at that, beautiful tape. D90. Needs to be rewound. Look at the tape's not packed on there very nicely, is it? Wow. Nostalgia, eh? Oh god, those bits. Wow, a proper computer cassette from WHSmiths in the wrong box. I don't know what's happened there. Oh my god, look. Oh no. Okay. Games, Les and me, that's my cousin Les. Hi Les, I'm sure you don't watch my channel, you've got much more interesting things to do. He's a computer wizard. Oh my god, I'm not opening these, look at the state of that. Elite Files, right, that is the best computer game ever. Are we going to be able to focus? Oh, I've spliced the tape. I wish I still had my same old splicing block. So the tape obviously got probably chewed up by a cassette player, and I had to splice, in other words cut out a section and splice it together. Physical splicing. So Elite was a space trading game, absolutely legendary. If you're not used to this stuff, if you were around in the 80s or even 90s, you know about Elite. There's no doubt about it. But BBC Elite was the best game ever written, in my opinion. And those are my data files for that. I would love to get those back out and finish some missions in that. Oh my god. Okay. Games Tape D. You can pause it and have a look at that. Jetpack Willy, yep. That's there's a more modern version of that on Xbox at the moment. Tarzan, Killer Gorilla, Android Attack. I don't know what that is. Rocket Raid. Ooh, I can't remember. Blitz. I can't remember half of these. Arcadians again, so they're like a Space Invaders clone. So, right, these, I wish I could still get these. I used to get these J cards, replaceable J cards in a pack of 10 or 20 from WHSmiths. And I wish you could still get them because I've got a lot of cassettes now and they need replacement J cards. And they're actually card. Okay, oh god. I'm glad I got these out because I'm going to have to rescue these. Cosmic Cruiser. That does not look like a good game. Oh no. Elite game save tape. So this is probably more game saves for Elite. Oh man, let's have a look at that. So that is the original Scotch J card. Wow, that's rand. That must be. That's a project I was working on. I don't remember what it was, so it'd be nice to have a look at that again if the tape's not had it. And I did get this box out years ago. I can't remember when, and looked at some of the software, but I don't think I was able to load it on because my wire, the cable that ran from the cassette player to the BBC was faulty. I've since bought an aftermarket one. Oh, wow, I remember this Scotch cassette. So ideally you would use the shorter cassettes, but I don't think there was much difference. I think these were probably as good a quality as the actual cassettes that were supposedly designed specifically for computers. So what's on this one? It sounds like BBC Model B software. So I've obviously listened to it, not been able to load it. Oh, Fuji FX-1. I probably know more about cassettes now and their brands than I did back in the day. So there's some unknown software on that. I don't think it'll make a very good video because software takes typically a couple of minutes to load per piece of software. And I'll probably start with this tape, Invaders and Arcadians. That's what I'll probably start with. Just two more to go. Oh yeah, classic Revs, Night Lord, good game, Labyrinth, Boffin. So I've obviously copied these across again. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna have to play that one first. Oh my god, I want to get my BBC out now, but it's a lot of hassle. It takes about 5 minutes to load each game if it works. If it doesn't work, you have to keep rewinding. Yeah, right. Oh, Electro, some music on that one. Oh my god, look at the state of that box. I'm not going to open it. Lovely TDK Ds. So that's proof that I used to use TDKs back in the day. So this needs sorting out. This is disintegrating. Oh, it looks like I'm going to be able to get it off quite easily, most of it. Oh my god, it's all sticky as well. But I really need to do some renovation on those cassette boxes before I open them up. I don't want that dust getting inside onto the tapes. Hang on a minute. Software that's unreliable on cassette. Mini discs and a mini disc recorder. Now there's an idea.